After a measureless moment of the soul, again returning to these surface fields, out of the timeless depths where he had sunk, he heard once more the slow tread of the hours. All once perceived and lived was far away. Himself was to himself his only seeing. Above the witness and his universe, he stood in a realm of boundless silences, awaiting the voice that spoke and built the worlds. A light was around him, wide and absolute, a diamond purity of eternal sight. A consciousness lay still, devoid of forms, free, wordless, uncoerced by sign or rule, forever content with only being and bliss, a sheer existence lived in its own peace on the single spirit's bare and infinite realm. Out of the sphere of mind he had risen. He had felt the rain of nature's hues and shades. He dwelt in his self's colourless purity. It was a plane of undetermined spirit that could be a zero or round sum of things, a state in which all ceased and all began. All it became that figures the absolute, a high, vast peak whence spirit could see the worlds, calm's wide epiphany, wisdom's mute home, a lonely station of omniscience, a diving board of the eternal's power, a white flow in the house of all delight. Here came the thought that passes beyond thought. Here the still voice, which our listening cannot hear, the knowledge by which the knower is the known, the love in which beloved and lover are one. All stood in an original plenitude, hushed and fulfilled before they could create the glorious dream of their universal acts. Here was engendered the spiritual birth. Here closed the finite scroll to the infinite. 1,000 roads leaped into eternity, or singing ran to meet God's veilless face. The known released him from its limiting chain. He knocked at the doors of the unknowable. Thence, gazing with an immeasurable outlook, one with self-in look, into its own pure vast, he saw the splendor of the Spirit's realms, the greatness and wonder of its boundless works, the power and passion leaping from its calm, the rapture of its movement and its rest, and its far-sweet miracle of transcendent life, the million-pointing, undivided grasp of its vision of one same stupendous all, its inexhaustible acts in a timeless time, a space that is its own infinity, a glorious multiple of one radiant self, answering to joy with joy, to love with love. All there were moving mansions of God bliss. eternal and unique, they lived the one. Their forces are great outbursts of God's truth, and objects are its pure spiritual shapes. Spirit no more is hid from its own view. All sentience is a sea of happiness, and all creation is an act of light. Out of the neutral silence of his soul, he passed to its fields of puissance and of calm, and saw the powers that stand above the world, traverse the realms of the supreme idea, and sought the summit of created things and the almighty source of cosmic change. Their knowledge called him to her mystic peaks, where thought is held in a vast internal sense, and feeling swims across a sea of peace, and vision climbs beyond the reach of time. An equal of the first Creator's years, accompanied by an all-revealing light, he moved through regions of transcendent truth, inward, immense, innumerably one. Their distance was his own huge spirit's extent. Delivered from the fictions of the mind, time's triple dividing step, baffled no more. Its inevitable and continuous stream, the long flow of its manifesting course, was held in spirit's single white regard. A universal beauty showed its face. The invisible, deep-fraught significances, here sheltered behind form's insensible screen, uncovered to him their deathless harmony, and the key to the wonder book of common things. In their uniting law stood up, revealed, the multiple measures of the uplifting force, the lines of the world geometer's technique, the enchantments that uphold the cosmic web, and the magic underlying simple shapes. On peaks where silence listens with still heart to the rhythmic meters of the rolling worlds, he served the sessions of the triple fire. On the rim of two continents of slumber and trance, he heard the ever unspoken reality's voice. He awakened revelation's mystic cry, the birthplace found of the sudden infallible word, and lived in the rays of an intuitive sun. Absolved from the ligaments of death and sleep, he rode the lightning seas of cosmic mind, and crossed the ocean of original sound. On the last step to the supernal birth, he trod along extinction's narrow edge, near the high verges of eternity, and mounted the gold ridge of the world dream between the slayer and the saviour fires. The belt he reached of the unchanging truth met borders of the inexpressible light, and thrilled with the presence of the ineffable. Above him he saw the flaming hierarchies, the wings that fold Around the created space, the sun-eyed guardians and the golden sphinx, amid the tiered plains and the mutable lords, a wisdom waiting on omniscience,